Hi, and welcome to Missed It by How Much. This is the channel that tests sports hypotheses by using computer game engines. We're currently playing the 1990 season as the Dodgers manager without Alfredo Griffin at shortstop. Today will be a scouting report as we watch two of the best in the American League play, the Minnesota Twins and the Boston Red Sox. And it's a good pitching matchup. Roger Clemens, 7-6 with a 2.44 ERA, against Mark Guthrie, 6-7, 4.59 ERA for the Twins. The Twins had led the West most of the season. Currently, Oakland is ahead of them by 3 games, and Boston and Toronto have been in a fight up and down. Recently, Boston beat Toronto 3 out of 4. So we're going to look at that to gain an upper hand. So they've been playing recently. The Red Sox have a powerful hitting team. They lead the league in average, hitting .284, and their ERA is 3.69 as a team. This is their past 13 games, and they have 3 losses, so they're 11-3, including the 3-1 record at Toronto that recently happened, and then swept Texas. The only loss was a 1-0 game that Clemens pitched. Toronto has had leaner times. They have lost 3 of the 4 to Boston. Their record is only 6 games over 500. And there you see they've only had 4 wins of the last 13 games, including a tough stretch. They lost at Boston 3 out of 4. And then they played Oakland at home and lost all of them, lost 4 game set. So they've had some lean times right now. Boston's taken advantage of that. Minnesota has had a rough go of it lately, but they've led their division most of the season until recently. Oakland has retaken the lead, or has taken the lead. They have 8 of the last 13 L's, and they have 5 wins, including they lost 3 out of 4 against Kansas City, which is not a good team. So they're looking to get back on the right track. They lost 2 in a row to Baltimore, 2 out of 3 to Baltimore. It was an up-and-coming team. And just for fun, we'll look at Oakland. They had a tough stretch there at Chicago. Playing the White Sox, they lost 3 in a row, and then a 4th game against Detroit. But since then, it looks like they've won 7 in a row. So 9 of the 13. That little stretch there, that bump there at 44-32. And they're an excellent team. They're no surprise there. There you see Boston with a 284 team average, Minnesota a 269. Minnesota with a 348 team pitching ERA, and Oakland with a 3.62. Although I do not see an all-star from Minnesota listed, which is strange to me. These would be the all-star starters. That game coming up soon on this channel. Nothing there. Boston does have Ellis Burks, who was the MVP top candidate for a while. Now Cecil Fielder's taken over, and Jody Reed at second base. Ben McDonald has overtaken Dave Stewart as a Cy Young Award leader. There you see Ricky Henderson. I think he was the 1990 AL MVP. Has a batting lead over Rafael Palmeiro by 10 points and a stolen base lead over Cole from Cleveland, who's still hanging in there. 2 games over 500 and 5 back in the East. Was hoping we'd see Tapani today instead of Guthrie, but should be entertaining either way. Minnesota needs to. They're no means out of it, but they would be. There's Tapani. They keep teasing me. It said Tapani there for a moment, and then it disappeared. I guess we will see Guthrie. As in most of these, or excuse me, as in all of these games that don't involve the Dodgers, we will not be playing. We'll just be watching. Even if I did switch it to human, I would just be pushing the computer. But we'll do it like that. It'll give us a chance to see the beautiful stadium in Minnesota, the Triple H Metrodome. I always remember it as a child for the trash bag fence. That's the way that I always remembered it. I'm sure it's beloved trash bags in Minnesota. So Clemens will take the mound against Guthrie. Unfortunately, we don't get to see Tapani, who has pitched great. And maybe in the future we'll be able to showcase a game with him starting. But let's see how this one develops. So far, ground out to Hrbek, who's led the Twins in most statistical categories, kind of looking at their stats ahead of time. Kirby Puckett not playing up to his usual 1990 ability, as it looks like Guthrie stops the Red Sox in the first half inning. So we'll get to see Clemens for the first time, and Gladden greets him with a double. That's his 17th on the season. And a runner in scoring position. Looks like the old bunt him over to third play. And that works. So Puckett ground out. That probably scores him. They're playing back. So the Twins will take an early 1-0 lead on Rocket. That won't help his ERA at all. As Hrbek, that I talked about, leads them in most statistical categories. He gets a base hit. And that should do it for the first inning, where the Twins take an early lead. Guthrie facing Quintana, and he singles to right. This was a great outfield. Oh, he's going for 2. And does he make it? He makes it. His 25th double. Always remember the range, and you see it there reflected, a 10 and 2/8 in the outfield. They get the dangerous Burks on a fly out. Looks like they'll get Brunansky in the pop out. Unless it gets into the stands, Harper jumping into the stands with his equipment on makes the catch. 2 outs. Dwight Evans looks like he's tied it up. He might have a double. He does. And we're tied at 1. And that is not caught. Nope. But there's going to be a play at the plate. And Dwight Evans is thrown out. Wow. All right, so through 1.5, it's tied at 1. And Brian Harper hits one deep to left. That's off the trash bags. And he's got a double. 21st of the season. Great for a catcher. Newman hits one to Brunansky. We'll see if the catcher tries to tag up here on his arm. Nope. 1 out. Gaetti hits one to right. went up there, and it's kind of come down. Nope, and Brunansky drops it. See if I can stop it and find out what happened. Unable to hang on. Second and third, and boy, Rocket in trouble now. Second and third and 1 out. Let's see if we can get out of this jam. Strikes out his first batter there. 2 outs for Gladden. And he strikes him out. He says, hey, you think I'm in trouble? Watch this. So it's still 1-1. The error doesn't hurt him. That's what I try to preach to my team. You got to get over the errors. They're going to happen. They seem to happen on my team quite regularly. The pitchers are just going to have to make up the difference. Or score more runs. That's always a good way to go. There's Boggs. It's 1 to Matt. That'll do it through 2.5. Still tied at 1. Shane reaches for Puckett. Looks like a liner that's going to fall. Clemens in trouble again. Nobody out. 2 on. At the corners. And here's Herbeck, the dangerous Kent. And he might have hit into a double play. Rivera to Reed. And Herbeck beats it out. Known for his speed. That's the joke. So the Twins take the lead 2-1. Clemens gets his 3rd K. And there's a comebacker, it looks like. That was a nice, smooth transition there from Clemens to Quintana, and he's done. But he's losing 2-1. Guthrie thus far has exceeded expectations. It's the first out of the 4th, and he gets a second strikeout on Burks. Brunansky, though, hits it deep. You watch the trajectory, and it curves to the left. It's off the wall, the base of the wall. And another double. This time, 5th one for Brunansky of the season. Dwight Evans walks. Up to Pena, and he hits one deep. Gladden going back. Watch the trajectory. And it curls to the left and into Gladden's glove. We're through 3.5. 2-1 Twins. The fly ball. Burke's only a 6 in range, but a Brunansky is an 8. That doesn't pass the eye test. Clemens gets his 4th strikeout. Through 4, it's 2-1 Twins. There's Rivera. Still hitting. Well, now he just dropped below 300, but well outperforming his regular 1990 statistics. There's the possible all-star Jody Reed. To the bottom of the 5th. Top of the order again from Minnesota. Clemens gets his 5th strikeout against Mack. And it looks like he'll get out of this inning fairly clean. We're through 5. It's 2-1 Twins in a pitching duel. And that's a win for the Twins facing Roger. Guthrie into the 6th, still pitching well. There's Burks again. Strikes him out. He's got 5 Ks as well. 5.5. 2-1 Twins. And here's a deep drive by Herbeck. Is it going to twist? It is twisting. And caught. Oh. Just got out on that play. Larkin says, still close game. Clemens still doing well. We're through 6. It's still 2-1. Anybody's game. Clemens at 92 pitches, 94 pitches now out of 135. But Guthrie has matched him. Oh, this is going to be close play at first. Gaetti with the gun gets him. That arm. Guthrie gets his 6th strikeout. And he's going to get through 7 half innings, up 2-1. Nice pitching. There's a base hit to right for Newman. I won't do the joke. Here's Gaetti. He pops it up. Looks like Reed's got that one. Newman holds at first. They're going to try to pick him off. They didn't get him. Clemens going to try it again. He's only got a 39% chance. Manrique hits one deep, but playable. Brunansky makes the catch. Two outs for Gladden. And there's a base hit. I wonder if they're going to pull him here. 2 outs, 2 on. 2-1 game. Newman going for 3rd. Never make the final out at 3rd. And he's safe. Okay, he didn't make it. So here's Mac. And it's a ground ball to Reed. That should get him out of it. 7 innings, 2 earned runs for Clemens. That's a good job. There's Rivera. Now Candelaria has come in. That's it for Guthrie. 7 innings. So Candelaria trying to finish it off. I would imagine he has enough pitches to do so. Greenwell. That looks playable. Gladden has it. 2 outs here in the 8th. Ground ball by Jody Reed. Boy. Nice pitching against this very tough #1 in the AL lineup for the Red Sox. Clemens comes back out there again. Strikes out Herbeck. That's his 6th strikeout. And he strikes out Larkin. That's 7 strikeouts. But then Harper gets to him, and Puckett on first, going to try to score. Let's see. Greenwell with only an average arm at 5. Let's see what happens. Nope, not even a throw. And that's a big insurance run for the Twins, up now 3-1 against Clemens. Maybe left him in a little bit too long. They'll get the out now, but too little too late, as the Red Sox need to score 2 here in the top of the 9th or they're finished against Candelaria. Boggs looks like a double into right. They're not done yet. 25th on the season. And Quintana greets Candelaria with a single. Is that a double? Yep, it's going to be 2. And they better start looking at the bullpen. I believe they've Reardon, right? Nope, it's Aguilera. Reardon's on the other team. And he comes in and throws a wild pitch. And the tying run is at 3rd with nobody out. And the infield is up against Ellis Burks, and he pops up. Not a good game for Ellis. And Gaetti should catch that. That's 1 out, but they're not out of the woods. They got to get Brunansky here. The infield's still up. And then they pinch hit Romine, and he gets a fly ball to center. That should get him home. At least going to have a chance. There's Puckett running up. The throw doesn't go there, and we're tied. Aguilera couldn't bail him out. Dwight Evans will hit a fly ball to Puckett, but if the Twins are going to win this, it's going to be in their last at-bat. We're tied at 3, and Clemens still going. Wow, so maybe I didn't make the right call. Although, they'd be ahead 3-2 now. And they did leave him in too long, because that's a home run for Gary Gaetti. Boy, does the manager know that they have a bullpen on this team? I love Roger, but he doesn't have to pitch every inning. That felt like they went a little too long. And that'll do it. As he only faces 1 batter in the 9th and gives up the solo shot, and the Twins win. Twins win. They should keep that as a thing. 4-3. And not an exact pitching duel. It wasn't 1-0 or 2-1. That was entertaining. Not a ton of strikeouts. Not a ton of hits either. Boston had 7 hits and 1 walk. And the Twins had 9 hits and 1 walk. The biggest hit, Gary Gaetti. I think they kind of managed themselves into trouble there. It should have gone to Aguilera right off the bat. Clemens goes the whole way. I feel like maybe too much. And Candelaria gave him a good inning in the 8th, but probably should have went right to Aguilera in the 9th. There's your extra stats. So that was a fun one. I enjoyed watching it with you. The standings will repopulate in a moment, and you can look at that. Both good teams, obviously there, just a couple of managerial mistakes. I would know. I've made them myself, leaving pitchers in too long. Sometimes pulling them too soon as well. The most difficult part of being a manager, I feel like, is knowing when your pitcher is finished. So Minnesota moves with, I believe, 2.5 of Oakland. That's what it says up there. And Boston's lead over Toronto shrinks to 2.5. This should be a battle the rest of the season. We'll see. And the National League East, Pittsburgh leading over the Mets by 3.5. Montreal by 4.5. Philadelphia has kind of fallen, only a game over 500. We'll go into those statistics more in about a week or so. When the All-Star game happens, we'll have another review as we'll be about halfway through the season. Thanks for watching. Missed it by how much?